or figurine on its Facebook page and asked people to pick the creepiest doll. Those are just, I don't care for them at all.
You could have nightmares, Mark. This one right there, that's the winner.
That's well loved, I think. All the hair
doesn't have a face.
That's the creepiest one.
That is the creepiest one.
Yeah,
that was Susan's when she was a child.
And there I am. All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope to see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.
And right now at 5, a Madison firefighter arrested after a cocaine trafficking investigation. How the Madison Fire Department is now responding.
A series of bills would decide when birth parents should have to give up their parental rights. Why there is large opposition.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 5.
Thanks for staying with News 3 Now. 2 men, including a current Madison firefighter, are arrested after a cocaine trafficking investigation.
Charlotte DeLeste is here now with more on what we know about the investigation. Charlotte?
Well, Susan and Eric, Madison police say the 2 men were arrested after multiple agencies obtained a search warrant. It happened in the 3700 block of Packers Avenue Thursday morning. Police say 56-year-old Gerald Moran and 41-year-old Andre Hansbrough were arrested after officers found cocaine, marijuana, cash, drug packaging, and drug paraphernalia inside that home. Officers say Hansbrough is a firefighter EMT for Fire Station 10 on the city's north side. He was hired in 2014. A spokesperson for the Madison Fire Department says Hansbrough has been on unpaid administrative leave since February of this year, but would not say why. The fire department released a statement saying, "We take these allegations very seriously as an organization, and we will carry out a thorough and swift investigation. Furthermore, we will cooperate with the Madison Police Department during its investigation." Hansbrough could face possible charges of maintaining a drug trafficking place and possession of drug paraphernalia. Moran could face possible charges of maintaining a drug trafficking place and 3 counts of possession with intent to deliver cocaine. The men have not yet been officially charged.
All right, Charlotte, thank you.
Thanks, Charlotte. The Richland Center police chief facing sexual assault and theft charges. This is months after he was put on paid leave during an investigation. Court records show 40-year-old Lucas Clements was charged in Richland County today with 3 counts of 4th-degree sexual assault and 1 count of theft. It's in connection with an incident that happened back on June 16th. The state started that investigation at that time. The City Police and Fire Commission put Clements on paid administrative leave immediately after the start of the investigation, appointing Lieutenant Billy Jones as acting chief in the interim.
Our first snowfall of the season today, and we could see more this week. Let's get a first check on the weather now. Gary Canolti is on the weather patio. Gary?
Well, I'll be back just in time for Halloween and the trick-or-treaters. It's going to be a chilly one this year for most of the trick-or-treaters. We have an alert day in the forecast for the potential for 1 to 3 inches of snow from Wednesday night through Thursday. Maybe an inch or 2 Wednesday night, another inch or 2 during the day on Thursday. Maybe mix with a little rain just in time for the trick-or-treaters. So it will be a wet and cold day for Halloween. Expected snowfall probably in the 1 to 3 inch range in a broad area from south central through southeastern Wisconsin. The higher totals might be a little more likely closer to Lake Michigan, but we're still looking at some of the latest computer model forecasts to see where that might be. The snow that's on the ground, though, is keeping temperatures cold. In fact, right now, we're seeing readings right around 40 degrees here. It's actually a little warmer to the north and west where the sun has been shining. So look for more clouds by tomorrow and some rain or snow showers about this time with a high of 38. Later on, I'll take a look at when we can expect the snow to start for Thanksgiving, or for Halloween.
All right, Gary. Seems more like Thanksgiving.
It does.
Doesn't it? All right, the UW-Madison Police Department stepping up to address some safety concerns from students.
Just as the Langdon Street officer position is being removed from the Madison Police Department, UW Police are adding a position to cover that area, but students are saying it's just not the same. Jamie Perez is here now with more on what this position is and how students will be impacted. Jamie?
Right, well, UW-Madison's police chief said that they've actually been trying to get this position going for a while now, but as Madison Police announced that they're taking away their Langdon Street officer, it made UW Police act quicker in getting someone to fill this position as soon as possible. And as you all know, we've reported on multiple crimes around that area, including a shooting, a sexual assault, and more. Officer Figueroa with MPD has built a great rapport with students who live in that area and say they feel safe with him around. But because of the budget shortfall the mayor is trying to fill, former police chief Mike Koval made recommendations on where to cut cut from his department. The Langdon neighborhood officer was one of those positions. And the UW-Madison Police Department says it's doing what it can to make sure students feel safe in that area, even after Officer Figueroa no longer serves them.
We aren't looking to necessarily replace him. I don't actually think that there's anybody who could. But what we are looking to do is build relationships in those areas as well. And we plan on working with the Madison Police Department and continuing to do so to build those relationships and help reassure students in that neighborhood and others that we are working together to best ensure their safety.
Chief Roman said the assignments and responsibilities of this position are still being worked out. Madison Police will still primarily be covering this area, but this new position with UWPD hopes to cover more of the ongoing safety elements and connect students to campus resources. And I also spoke with a student who has been a voice for those who live in that area. She says she thinks this is a step in the right direction, but there are some other things that she feels were missed out on here. So we'll hear from her coming up tonight at 6.
We'll see you then. Thanks, Jamie.
Sure.
The NCAA has voted unanimously to allow student athletes to be paid for their name, image, and likeness. In a statement, the NCAA Board of Governors wrote, quote, "We must embrace change to provide the best possible experience for college athletes." The NCAA was under pressure to act after California became the first state to pass a law allowing college athletes to sign endorsement deals beginning in the year 2023.
There's so much money flying around, and everybody is able to grab it except for the student athletes who are actually the talent on the field or the court or the pitch or whatever, creating the revenue stream.
The NCAA asked each of its 3 divisions to create new rules beginning immediately, but no later than 2021. Last year, college sports programs in the U.S. reported $14 billion in revenue, while college athletes average about $18,000 in annual scholarship money. Once student athletes are allowed to make endorsement deals, the average college football player, according to one report, could make more than $160,000 a year. Now, a UW Athletics spokesperson commenting on the NCAA's decision saying, quote, "Wisconsin supports the efforts of the NCAA and the conference to enhance support of student athletes that is tethered to education. We look forward to working with the conference and the NCAA as appropriate rules for the use of name, image, and likeness are developed."
Deciding when birth parents should give up custody of their children is at the heart of a debate tonight at the state capitol.
Rose Schmidt joins us to explain widespread opposition to a series of adoption-related bills. Rose?
So the goal of this legislation is to terminate biological parents' rights faster so that children are able to get out of bad situations more quickly. The problem is numerous agencies, including Wisconsin tribes, disability rights groups, and the state all say these adoption bills are encouraging children to be taken away from their birth families. Improving Wisconsin's adoption process is the goal of 8 proposals that were born out of an adoption task force this summer.
It has been our hope to improve the process, remaining respectful of all parties, all while ensuring our kids have permanent, stable, and loving homes.
Republican State Representative Barbara Dietrich says the bills make it easier to terminate parental rights, creating new grounds to do so if a baby is born addicted to drugs or alcohol, or if a parent is incarcerated. But at a public hearing Tuesday, the state's Department of Children and Families questioned whether taking away a birth parent's rights sooner means taking a child away from the place where they belong.
Our goal is to keep kids safe in their home. That removal of a child is not the first act, but the last resort in order to maintain a child's safety.
The state is opposed to 7 out of 8 of the adoption bills, saying that they go against strengthening and supporting birth families. Dietrich says the bills will likely be amended to meet some of the concerns.
I would say that we are still listening to people that have concerns about the bills and inviting those people to make their recommendations and help us make this legislation better.
But Democrats are questioning whether the proposals would be stronger had there not been a partisan divide in putting them together.
We heard from disability rights organizations, we heard from social service organizations, and we heard from attorneys that they had significant concerns with many pieces of many of these bills. I wish we could have gotten some of that ironed out before we got to this point.
The proposals also face opposition from the Wisconsin Counties Association, Disability Rights Wisconsin, and the Ho-Chunk Nation. The only proposal that the state supports would ease some financial burdens on families in certain types of adoptions.
Rose Schmidt reporting tonight. Rose, thank you. We do have some breaking news just into our newsroom. The Dane County Medical Examiner has just released The name of the man killed in an officer-involved shooting late Sunday night in the 6500 block of Raymond Road. They say 64-year-old Dean Thomas of Madison was killed as a result of firearm-related trauma. An investigation is underway by the Wisconsin Division of Criminal Investigation. The officer involved in the shooting has not yet been named.
Public health officials are making a big push to stop kids from vaping, focusing on educating adults about how discreet the devices really are. The local Tobacco-Free Coalition says many parents and school administrators don't even know what to look for. Today, showing nurses at UW Health what certain vape devices look like. Some look like a watch, but it's really a vaping device. While kids might tell their doctors they don't smoke or vape, once they're asked if they Juul, they could give a different answer.
Juul contains almost twice the amount of nicotine that other vape products contain, and so knowing that nicotine has a huge impact on an adolescent brain and can rewire that brain to be more susceptible to future addictions, and it's a real big issue for us.
And he says we are addicting a brand new generation of youth, and it will take the whole community to stop this trend. We'll have a list of the next presentations on channel3000.com.
A second solar project is being built in the city of Middleton. There was a groundbreaking celebration for the Maury Field Solar Project, which is at the Middleton Municipal Airport. The MG&E 5-megawatt solar project will help serve the Middleton Cross Plains Area School District.
Over the next 30 years, solar power from this project will benefit our district schools and should result in millions of dollars in energy cost avoidance savings.
Solar panels will use tracking technology to increase the amount of sunlight the panels can harvest by more than 25% compared to fixed arrays. We can find out whether you have to pay an extra $40 to register your vehicle next year. Madison's Common Council is taking up the controversial wheel tax proposal after the Finance Committee passed it last week. That committee added an amendment that would try to offset the cost of that fee for low-income residents by offering a reimbursement for people in the WIC program. City leaders say that fee is needed to balance the budget. The city needs to pass the wheel tax by the end of the month in order for it to go into effect in February.
Madison parents are invited to share their input for the district's next superintendent. The Madison School Board wants your help to decide what qualities it should prioritize during the job search. There's a community meeting tonight at Madison Memorial High School and another one tomorrow night at La Follette. You can also complete a survey online at mmsd.org/superintendent search. The Salvation Army is making it easier for people who don't carry cash to donate to the Red Kettle campaign. The organization is introducing special Kettle Pay donation sites. Kettle Pay buckets feature smart chips and QR codes, which allow people to tap their phones against the kettle and make a donation through Apple Pay or Google Pay. There will be 40 Kettle Pay locations across Dane County. The Red Kettle campaign begins Friday, November 8th. The Salvation Army is still looking for volunteers for the campaign. The goal is to collect more than $600,000.
The Madison Hospital's tiniest patients are ready for Halloween. Oh. Meriter Hospital's newborn intensive care unit patients are all dolled up for the festive season. The hospital hosting a costume contest on social media this week. People can vote for their favorite tiny costumes by liking the photo on Meriter's Facebook page. The contest will end at noon on Halloween. On Thursday, the baby who garners the most likes will receive a prize.
Oh, is that precious? That's fun.
Very cool. All right, there's more to come on News 3 Now at 5. Up next with more snow in the forecast. Local ski resorts. We're already talking about ski resorts. They're gearing up for the season. How Tyrol Basin is preparing their slopes.
And coming up tonight at 6, we'll introduce you to a beloved Janesville barber who is hanging up the clippers after 50 years.
Quick check of Wall Street. Red numbers after solid gains on Monday. The Dow closes with a 19-point drop. The Nasdaq plummeting more than 49. The S&P 500 falling 2.5. And we'll be right back. Southern Wisconsin's first snowfall today may have some of us already getting ready to carve up the trails at Tyrol Basin soon.
Meteorologist Dave Caulfield spoke with park officials today about how the snow will affect, if the snow will affect, what is the sentence?
When you can hit the slopes. Dave Caulfield.
Thank you.
Southern Wisconsin had just a little bit more than 6 months in between accumulating snowfalls to enjoy spring, summer, and fall. But this early bout of winter weather has many at Tyrol Basin excited that winter sports season is almost here. A scary early round of snow has many thinking about heading straight from the spooks to the slopes at Tyrol Basin.
This is the earliest we've seen snow in quite a while, so that's exciting.
Owner and general manager at Tyrol Basin, Nathan McGree, says his staff got their first runs of the season under their belts Tuesday morning with 3 inches of fresh powder at their disposal.
This is what we wait for all summer long. We sit and sweat and try to get everything in shape, and now the snow comes and we're anxious.
While a snow event like this one helps Southern Wisconsin have the right mindset for winter sports, what McGree wants more than anything is consistently cold temperatures.
The snow is helpful because it gets everybody excited and gets them thinking about skiing and snowboarding and or tubing, but we just need cold weather, and we can do Mother Nature's job for her.
Officials are hoping this snow is a sign that points to a long and enjoyable ski and snowboarding season in the months to come. But if the weather does take a turn for the worse, folks here know how to roll with the punches.
We're pretty good at taking whatever Mother Nature throws at us, so we get used to it and we take it, we improvise and overcome.
If Mother Nature cooperates over the next couple of days, staff here at the Basin say they want to get these snowmakers up and running on Halloween night. At Tyrol Basin, Dave Caulfield, News 3 Now.
See, you do the morning show for a while, you forget everything you know.
Tired.
McGree said he hopes to have the park at least partially open this Saturday, and he also said the brand new tubing area should be ready soon. That's slated to open around the beginning of December.
I think we're all just thrown off by the timing of this snow, and Chief Meteorologist Gary Canaldi's here. He's telling us this is just the first of 2 snow events this week, Gary.
We had one this morning that brought several inches of snow across southern Wisconsin, almost 4 inches in Baraboo. Most areas were in the 1 to 3 inch range through southern Wisconsin. And I think the snow that we'll see for tomorrow night into Halloween Thursday probably will end up in the similar range. We do have an alert day in the forecast for Thursday for about 1 to 3 inches of snow. There could be some locally higher amounts, but I think those will be the exception rather than the rule. There also could be a little rain mixed in during the afternoon. That just points to a wet and cold day for trick-or-treaters, unfortunately, with temperatures during the major time of trick-or-treating. Well, you can take a look. 34 degrees at 5 o'clock, 33 at 7, and right after trick-or-treating is over, down to about the freezing mark. So it'll be a blustery and cold evening. The live view from the Platteville Queen Bee Radio Skycam back online there, showing a little bit of snow on the ground in Platteville. They had a little lesser amounts out in southwestern Wisconsin. WISC Skycam showing mostly clear skies here and sunny skies on the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison. As we check out the almanac for today, our high temperature only 40 degrees. We should be in the lower 50s, so that just shows you how the effect that snow has had on cooling us down. 28 the overnight low temperature, and right now we're at our high for the day of 40. Skies are sunny, the air is calm, and the humidity is at 55%. Looking at temperatures, you can kind of make out where that snow fell, because notice how La Crosse is at 45, Madison's at 40. There was that band of snow right through here, and that's actually holding temperatures down by just a couple of degrees. But you can see on the overall pattern here, the next storm system waiting in the rings, this jet stream pattern basically from southwest to northeast, bringing the storm systems one right after another. So the one that came through last night is out to the east. Here comes the next one, and that'll be coming in from the west with an area of low pressure developing in Colorado. And that will take a path to our south. Because of the temperatures, we're not going to see a ton of snow from this storm system. In fact, some of the very latest computer model forecasts are indicating the snow might take a little more easterly path. So you can see things quiet for tonight. Then tomorrow, here comes that rain-snow mixture. But notice how we're kind of on the western edges of it. The heavier snow may actually eventually fall into parts of lower Michigan. So at that point, it looks like we may be spared at least the worst of the snowfall, but still a couple of inches certainly on the way. 26 for the overnight low temperature with partly cloudy skies, but tomorrow look for skies to turn cloudy. We'll see some light rain or snow showers develop during the afternoon. High temperature at 38 degrees. On future track, again, quiet for tonight. Low temperatures in the mid to upper 20s. Tomorrow the clouds move in. The rain and snow shower chances start to develop, and then you can see them change. Everything changed over to snow tomorrow night and into Thursday. But again, we're going to be right on the edges of that storm system. The farther north and west you go, heading out toward Prairie du Chien, Boscobel, that area may only see an inch or two of snow, whereas from Madison down towards Janesville, you might be looking at perhaps as much as 3 or 4 inches, at least in some localized spots. So the general swath of 1 to 3 inches of snow, most likely from south central through southeastern and east central Wisconsin. 7 to 10 day forecast. Cold air in the wake of the snow. You get snow on the ground, that just keeps the temperatures cold. Upper 30s for highs Friday and Saturday, maybe back to around 40 by Sunday and Monday. Then we'll look for a chance for some rain and snow showers Monday. Temperatures are going to stay cold for just about all of next week. As we take a look at first alert traffic, here's the view on the Beltline at Park Street. Eastbound Beltline looking pretty slow right now. In fact, we have delays on the eastbound Beltline from about Monona Drive back to almost to we'll say Seminole Highway. Right now, it's about a 23-minute commute on the eastbound Beltline from University Avenue to I-3990, 17 minutes going back in the westbound direction. Heading down to Janesville, 27 minutes on I-3990 from the Beltline down to Janesville, but 28 minutes to Sauk City on US 12, 18 minutes to Sun Prairie on US 151 East Washington Avenue. That's your News 3 Now First Alert traffic.
All right, thanks, Gary.
Still ahead on News 3 Now at 5, how Democrats are moving forward with the impeachment inquiry into the president. That's after a short break. Stay with us. House Democrats are moving forward with the impeachment inquiry, gearing up for a vote to formalize the procedures.
The House Rules Committee released the resolution that the House will vote on later this week to formalize the impeachment proceedings against President Trump. The resolution says how the committee will conduct public hearings, and that includes questioning witnesses for up to 90 minutes.
It's appropriate to outline how the transition will take place from the investigation that's ongoing now into the public presentation of witnesses, documents, information.
We'll see whether they can, A, meet due process standards, fundamental due process standards, and then see what they do.
Senate Republicans say they will decide Thursday whether to move ahead with a resolution to condemn the House impeachment inquiry.
As wildfires burn across California, the state is expecting windstorms now that could undo days of work containing those flames. The fire in wine country north of San Francisco has already burned through 75,000 acres as it creeps toward the city of Santa Rosa.
In this critical, really 24-hour window, we're hopeful that the winds will ease off after midnight tonight.
We're fighting nature. That's what nature does through here. We may have the best plan in place, and weather decides to do something different.
Some residents are being left in the dark while the fires burn. A new round of fire-preventing blackouts started this morning, leaving up to 2.5 million people without electricity until the fire threat passes.
A powerful earthquake jolted the southern Philippines, killing at least 6 people and injuring more than 100. The 6.6 magnitude quake triggered landslides, killing several more people and injuring dozens of others. The region is still reeling from a deadly quake that struck less than 2 weeks ago. Some of the same buildings have been hit again and are now threatening to crumble.
Stay with us. We will have one final check of your forecast when we return.
It's only October, but there's more snow on the way.
Well, we got a couple of inches last night, and that's just having an effect on the temperatures. You can see we're in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees already, whereas like over toward La Crosse, they didn't have as much snow, and temperatures there are in the mid-40s. This is kind of what we're looking at from tomorrow night into Halloween Thursday, about 1 to 3 inches. The highest probabilities of getting that will be over southeastern Wisconsin. Got an alert day in the forecast for Halloween, and then look for cool temperatures through the weekend and some more rain and snow chances early next week.
We'll have more updates in 30 minutes. Stay tuned now for the CBS Evening News.